Remember that our theme of the month still remains, I am redeemed for the top. Can you say it with me? Can you say it with me as a person going to the top? I am redeemed for the top. And our teaching series since the month began and our midweek service is exploring the power of love for exploit. Exploring the power of love for exploit. Part 6. And our Father told us that love is the greatest commandment of the law. Is the greatest commandment of the law. In Matthew 22, verse 36 to 40, they asked him, saying, Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? And Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love your neighbor as you love yourself. On these two hangs all the commandment and the law, even the prophet. So it's the summary of the law. So when you love God as you love yourself and love your neighbor, you fulfill the law. And when you fulfill the law, you become a commander of exploit. So exploit is a product of love for God. Love for God. Love for God. And love is the fulfillment of the law. And when the law is fulfilled, exploit becomes automatic. Exploit becomes inevitable. You become a man of exploit because you are a man that is rooted and grounded in love. Remember that love is the greatest of all the three forces of this kingdom. Is the greatest of all the three forces in the adventure of life, which include faith, hope, and love. And among these three, love is the head. Love is the most potent. Love is what makes other forces of the world to work. In 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13, he said, Now abideth faith, hope, and charity, these three. But the greatest of them all is love, is charity. Charity never fails. Charity never fails. Charity never fails. Reason is because the vision was by faith. And faith can only deliver its potency on the platform of love. On the platform of love. Hebrews 2 verse 4 say, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just man shall live by his faith. And faith can only deliver by the power of love. Galatians 5 verse 6. For Jesus Christ neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but faith which worketh. Faith which worketh by love. Faith works by love. This implies that everything that ever works in the kingdom works by love. Are you a soul winner? For it to deliver, it must be love-based. Are you a sanctuary keeper? Whatever you are doing, are you sowing a seed? Are you giving offering? Are you paying your tithe? Are you giving to the poor for the interest of the kingdom? Whatever you are doing in the kingdom can only work by love, or else becomes a waste of effort, a waste of resources, and a waste of time. So everything that works in the kingdom works primarily by love. Romans 8 verse 28. Now we know that all things work together for our good because we love God. Everything that works in the kingdom works by love. How powerful is our love for God? How powerful is our love for God? Love is our connectivity to divinity. Love connects you to divinity. Love is the link to divinity. Love is the way to divinity. Love engrafts humanity into divinity. So love empowers you to showcase all the attributes of God. which empowers us to walk in dominion. So without love for God, dominion in this earth is not possible. So for you to walk in dominion in all facets of life, you need to love God and the interests of his kingdom. You need to love him as a way of life, because love brings humanity into divinity. In order for humanity to manifest divinity in all facets of life. In Romans 11 verse 17 to 23, if some of their branches be broken off, thou being a wide olive tree, we are grafted among them, which with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive. So love must break you. Love must break you. Many believers are not broken. That's why they can't love God. Until you are broken, you can never be engrafted. So the branch must be broken. And when the branch is broken, it is engrafted into the tree, into the olive. And whatever the olive carries, you become a partaker, because you are engrafted into the root. You are engrafted into the tree, because we are the branch of the olive. Whatever the olive carry, we becomes a partaker of it. So whatever answers to God, answers to us, because we are engrafted in him. We are engrafted in him. So when you are rooted and grounded in law, you are engrafted in God, and God is in you. And no devil can dare a man that is engrafted in God. So you are the branch of the olive. And when you are broken and you are engrafted, you become unmolestable. You become unkillable. You become unchantable. You become unmolestable. Everything that ever answered or bowed to God bows to you, because you and God have become an unbeatable team. In Ephesians 3 verse 17 to 19, that Christ may dwell in your heart by faith, that ye being rooted and grounded in love may be able to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth, the length, and the depth, and the height, and to know the love of Christ, which passeth all knowledge, that ye might be filled with all the fullness of God. With all the fullness of God. And you can't be full of God and not command the exploit in the journey of life. When you are full of God, you become full of signs and wonders. Love also empowers our obedience, that provokes supernatural breakthroughs in all our life. Love empowers our obedience, that provoke supernatural dimension of breakthroughs in life. In 1 John 5 verse 4, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandment. That his commandment is never grievous. It's not to grieve you. It's to make you. Anytime God commands, is to put man in command. You can't be a commander of exploit unless you are rooted and grounded in love. Unless you are rooted and grounded in love. Because love is the covenant platform for commanding supernatural dimension of breakthrough. And you want to obey God, you need to love him. You can never obey the person that you don't love. If you love God, you obey him. And when your obedience is fulfilled, breakthroughs in life becomes automatic. Though they lack wine, but Jesus couldn't help them. But his mother told them, whatever he tells you to do, do them. And Jesus said, fill the 6 water pot with water. And they hearkened unto the voice. They hearkened and they filled the emptiness with water. And that open shame was averted by simple obedience. There was a man born blind, and he had an encounter with Jesus. And Jesus sprinkled the earth and rubbed the sand on his eye. He said, go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And wash. And the man hearkened by the power of obedience. And he hearkened, he went and washed and came back seeing. Your greatness is in obedience. If thou shalt hearken diligently into the voice of the Lord thy God to obey, and to do all that he commanded you today, that the Lord will set you on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you. And overtaking blessing is a product of empowered obedience. Empowered obedience. Empowered obedience. There was a man called Abraham, a fugitive at the age of 75. Nobody, no identity, no color, nothing to show for his age. Only his wife Sarah. No landed property, nothing to show, no job. But they have an encounter because Abraham loved God. In Genesis 12, 1-3, and God appeared to him, Abraham, leave your father's house, the place I will show you. There I will make you. There I will bless you. There everything will turn around. And Abraham moved immediately. Abraham moved immediately. And Abraham became Abraham the blessed, because Abraham was Abraham the obedience. Obedience may be costly, but the end result is priceless. The end result is priceless. The end result is priceless. But what is in love that engenders exploit? Number one, love never gets defeated in the battle of life. Love never gets defeated in the battle of life. You live in the embattled world. We know that we are of God, but the whole world lieth in wickedness. But love will never fail. Love makes you more than a conqueror. Love beats your enemies hands down. Love can never fail in any journey of life. Love never gets defeated. There was 3 fellows, 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were lovers of God. And one day they were face to face with trial. Death sentence was waiting for them. If only you will not bow to the idol made by Nebuchadnezzar. If you don't bow, we kill you. Face to face with death sentence. Face to face, to the extent they dare the king. The king said, we are going to finish you. He said, if you like, finish us. We are not going to deliberate on this matter. We are not turning back. We know our Redeemer liveth. We know when the enemy shall come like a flood, Jesus will raise standard against them. If God be for us, who can be against us? If you like, increase the fire, the tempo of the fire. We are not going to deliberate on this matter. And they casted the 3 Hebrew boys, who casted them and tied their hand and tied their legs, put them in the lake of fire, burning fire. And after a while, the king arose, coming to the fire, and saw 4 persons walking round about the fire, praying and singing. Their hand loosed, their leg loosed. Love can never be consumed by the fire of life. There is fire everywhere, but love never fails. Love never got wounded in the journey of life, in the battle of life. And the battle of life can never telephone you when they are coming. But love makes you more than a conqueror. Love makes you more than a conqueror. Daniel 3:1-28. You can see all of that. And they came out unhurt. They came by himself, say, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come forth out of the fire. And they came forth unhurt. They come forth nothing touched them. Even the flame of the fire didn't touch them. Love turns turn the fire to air condition. Love make them unbeatable, and they came out unhurt. They came out as more than a conqueror. And that testimony alone, he said, from today we are going to worship the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Their God will be our God. And the king repented, and the fellow repented, and they overturned everything. Because these three generals love the Lord. These three generals love the Lord. And they agree to die for God. And you can't die for God and not live for God. You can't die for God and not rise above your enemies. Every true lover of Christ is entitled for divine encounter. Are you a lover of Christ? You are entitled for divine encounter, which open you up to new chapters, in business, to new chapters in ministry, to new chapters in your area of calling. There's always a new chapter. There's always a way that have not been traded. One encounter from God can make your life count, can make your destiny count. Abraham, no identity, but he encountered God, everything changed. He encountered God, everything changed. Genesis 12:1-3. Now the Lord said to Abraham, get thee out of thy country, from thy kindred, from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. I will bless them that bless you, and I will curse them that curse you. And the Bible says, Abraham departed, because as a lover of God, whatever God tells you to do is okay by you. No negotiation. No negotiation. No negotiation. In Genesis 22:16-18, and he said, by myself have I sworn. Love for God brings Abraham to the realms of sworn blessing. I have sworn, because you have done this, I have not withhold or withheld your only son Isaac. In blessing I will bless you. In blessing I will bless you. And Abraham stepped into transgenerational blessing by his love for God. You can't love God and the interest of his kingdom and be crawling for God. No. If I perish, I perish. Your God will be my God. This is supposed to be your language. Whether rain, whether heat, anywhere God say, whatever God say is okay by me. Give me your 1 year salary, it's okay by me. Anything God demands from you is to multiply it. Anything God demands, make a demand from you, is to change your story. What you have can make you. What you keep can keep you. Galatians 3:13-14. Christ have redeemed you from the curses of the law. Be made a curse to you. That curse is any man that hangs in a tree, that the blessing of Abraham might come to the Gentiles through Jesus. We are spiritual Israelites, and we are qualified for Abrahamic order of blessing. And this is rooted in love for God. Biblical proof of our love for God. How do I know you love God? If you love God, you will have passion for the afflicted. How do I know that a man or a believer love God? You must have passion for the afflicted soul. Afflicted soul around you. Afflicted soul around your neighborhood. Afflicted soul in your offices. What is your contribution to their rising? A case study of Moses. At his youth, he was going about his business, and he saw an Egyptian fighting with an Israelite, and he killed an Egyptian and hid him in the sand. In another occasion, he see two brothers fighting, wanted to separate them. They told him, who made you a lord over us? You are even a wanted man. We are aware of what you did, and you are in watch line. Anywhere they find, they will kill you. And the man zoom off. Love for God. Love for God. And one day, because of his heart for God, because of his passion for the afflicted, he had an encounter. He had an encounter. keeping his in-laws sheep in the bush. He had an encounter there, and there was a burning bush, and God appeared to him, say, Moses, Moses, I have surely seen the affliction of my people Israel. You are hard for God, and the afflicted. If God gives you your portion in the kingdom, you have no place in the kingdom until you have heart and passion to deliver the afflicted. When they cry, what do you do? When they come to you, what do you do? Many a time the language we can speak to them is, you are blessed. Oh, it is well, oh, it is well, it is well. Go in peace. Heart for the afflicted is what gives you your deliverance, which you desire. Exodus 3 verse 7 to 10. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which is in the land of Egypt. Come now, therefore, go and deliver them. And a wanted man appearing before Pharaoh, he said, Pharaoh, let my people go. You cannot have heart and passion for the afflicted and not become a commander in the journey of life. Exodus 4 verse 17 to 20. And thou shalt take this rod in your hand, wherewith you can do signs and wonders. And Moses went and returned to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said unto him, let me go, I pray you, and return unto my brethren which are in the land of Egypt, and see how they live. And Jethro said to him, go in peace. And he went and delivered God's people. He went and delivered God's people. Life is not by duration. Life is by donation. What are you donating to humanity? What are you giving to humanity? Every time me, my wife, my children, what budget do you have for the afflicted? What budget do you have for the sorrowful? That your unit member that is sick, have you fasted and prayed for him, for her? That brother that is jobless, have you fasted and prayed for them? Hebrews 4 verse 14 to 15. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed unto heaven, Jesus the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession, for we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities. Can you feel what others are feeling as the representative of the high priest? Can you feel the burden of others? Can you feel the burden of this generation? Can their crying touch you? If you love God, you will identify with Jesus openly and publicly. If you love him, you speak of him openly. You tell your testimony to the world. You announce to the world that Jesus reigns. If you are ashamed of him, he will be ashamed of you before his Father in heaven. Many have received testimony from this house, but their mouth is too heavy to share the testimony. Psalm 119 verse 46, I will speak thy testimony also before the kings, and I will not be ashamed. I will not be ashamed. I will not be ashamed. In Mark 8 verse 38, whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my word in this adulterous and shameful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed of. Example of Peter, a selfless lover of Christ. 12 disciples, but Peter stood out because Peter was Peter the lover. Peter the lover. Jesus asked him question three times. Peter, do you really love me? He said, yes. If you love me, feed my lamb. He came again. Peter, it's not all this drinking and wine in this your suit. If this seat is no more there, will you still love me? And Peter said, you know I love you. Feed my lamb. Feed my lamb. The third time, Peter got angry. Lord, you know that I love you. Why ask me this nonsense question? If you love me, feed my lamb. And Peter, the person that have not entered school unschooled Peter, no certificate Peter, became Peter the rock, the foundation of the church today, by his love for God. And God made him to become Peter the exploit, because Peter was a man of exploit. Sustainable stewardship distinguishes God's people. Sustainable, not today, tomorrow you sleep. No, sustainability of your work with God. If you're a soul winner, keep winning soul. If you are rooted on the altar of prayer, praying for the kingdom, keep doing so. Sustainability is what provokes supernatural exploit in this kingdom. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. In Malachi 3 verse 17, and they shall be mine, said the Lord of hosts. In that day, when I will make up my jewels, I will spare them, as a man spared his own son that served him. Then shall you discern between the righteous and the wicked, and between him that serveth God, not serve God, serveth, present continuous things. You keep serving the Lord. And Peter ended up, as it were, a most renowned apostle of Christ. Renowned. Matthew 16 verse 18. And I say unto thee, thou art Peter, upon this rock I will build my church, and gates of hell shall never prevail. Please, profitable stewardship is rooted in our undying love for Christ. Profitable stewardship is in our undying love for Christ. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9, as it's written, I have not seen or ye heard, neither have it entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for all of them that love him. So every lover of God is ordained to command exploit in this journey. Rise up on your feet and receive grace. Receive grace. Receive grace. Increase me, Lord, to love you. Increase me to love you. Increase me with keys to love you. Thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Follow us on all of our social platforms at LFC Abuloma.